inspiration for Scared of Heights was just wanting to come out and do something new. I think just hip hop in general, the rap game has been missing. Just music with some content. You know, we're in a different era right now, so there's a lot of partying going on and dancing, and that's cool. But I just kind of miss the times when somebody was speaking about something, you know, where the artists were actually delivering a message. So that was really the purpose of the album. The main message, I think a lot of it just has to do with it's just my opinion. It's just me being me. So the messages that I'm really relaying is just my opinion on the things that's going on. I don't really care too much for the ignorance in music now. So the underlying messages in the songs is more life lessons, you know, things that people could carry with them throughout life, and just kind of putting aside all the foolishness that's going on right now. A favorite song, I mean, there's certain songs that I like for different reasons. So to be able to pick one favorite song out of them all is going to be kind of impossible for me, you know. But I really had fun making Praying, which is it's a pretty good song. I really enjoy it, and a couple of my friends, we get you know, hype whenever we're going out and stuff, listening to that song. But then I got other songs, kind of like Another Number, featuring Idris or whatever. That's a song that it really meant a lot because I'm actually delivering a message that I feel strong about. So that's one of my favorites for another reason. Yeah. So on Scared of Heights, the people I collaborated with were for the most part, it was Idris. I have a song with Rick Ross. I have another song with an artist by the name of D'Amelio and an artist by the name of Cardone. And I think that's really it. I didn't really reach out too much to collaborate with a lot of people because for my first project, I kind of wanted to give the people me and not sprinkle too many other people on it. And sometimes I feel like when artists collab too much, it's kind of a cop-out because they don't have too much to give to the audience. So they just try to find other artists to fill in a void or those gaps, and I didn't really want to do that. Really, I think my secret, you know, to creating a song is just being honest. You know, I meet a lot of artists and I get to sit back and watch a lot of artists that they try to be something they're not or be somebody that they're not. And I think one of the best things about life is actually just itself, is just living it, you know. So if you get the chance to make music or to express your everyday life, like what you're going through in everyday situations, there's nothing more beautiful than that. You can't really create, you know, something that's already there, you know. So part of the creative process to me is just giving the audience me, my opinions, how I feel about certain situations, and that's all I really do. It's not that hard for me, but if you're trying to live a lie, it becomes a difficult task. Well, for me, growing up was it was pretty interesting. You know, the background I came from was really intense. I'm not different from a lot of other people that grew up in New York. So I started off in the Bronx. I ended up living in Washington Heights, which is uptown Manhattan. Some people might confuse it with Harlem, but I spent a lot of time there also. Growing up, I had 2 parents that were addicts, you know, so my mom started off as a dealer, turned addict and stuff like that, so I got to see both sides of that life, right? So I got to see the money coming in, and then the other side where, I mean, we're stealing stuff in order to survive, or she's stealing from us in order to, you know, get what she needs and stuff like that. So I seen the ups and I seen the downs, so I think that's definitely something that it helped my view of the world, and it will reflect in my music. All right, so basically the song Toast is kind of, I guess you say it's sarcastic, right? So I'm saying I'm giving a toast to the haters and stuff like that, which I'm not really celebrating them. It's kind of like a big FU to them. I think a lot of people have gone through life and seen people kind of be upset with other people that are doing well in life in general, right? So there's been some instances where there's people I speak to that just because I'm no longer in the ghetto or facing tough times, they feel like I sold out or that they could do what I'm doing, but they're not. You get me? So sometimes they say, yeah, oh, I could do that too, and you took the easy way out. Like, keeping it real is struggling. Like, you have to struggle to be real, or you gotta struggle to be that same dude from the Bronx or that same dude from New York. Like, I didn't change, you know what I mean? Like, my work ethic got me to where I'm at. So that toast is kind of like I said before, just a FU to those people. So New Fly is an interesting song because I started that song off just sitting back and kind of viewing what's going on right now in the music industry, and how a lot of times when I see artists, they following the same type of blueprint. You know, every time a rapper comes out, he's in a club making it rain on strippers and stuff like that. And that's not really a path that I want to follow. I don't want to do that, you know. Strip clubs are cool, don't get me wrong. It's all right. But that's not the path I wanted to follow, right? So I'm just going to create my own route. And as far as being fly, like, everybody has their own opinion on what's fly, what's cool, what's in, what's not, and stuff. So that New Fly was like, just saying I'm the new fly. Like, the way I'm gonna go about life, the way I'm gonna go about music is the new fly. So everything else needs to move to the side. So Deep, that was actually the name of the beat when it was given to me. So I just kept it and I went with it. But it kind of made me want to go like Deep South type thing. So that's why I got that kind of Texas feel to it, you know. So I did that song along with a friend of mine, Cardone, actually two friends of mine, Cardone and D'Amelio. It was just a fun song, you know. When I first heard it, see, the hook itself I came up with because I was actually in my car, in my truck, Expedition, and you can hear that. You can hear that in the hook itself. So it says Expedition on the curve, you know, catch me swerving what you want. Like, that's exactly where I was at the time when I was hearing the song. So like I said, my music is gonna be real. It's what I'm doing every day. So that's one example of I was actually in the Expedition. So that's why it's part of the hook. Well, the song Praying, it kind of covered two different things. Number one, it fit into the type of music that was going on, or that is going on currently, with a little bit of that, you know, that auto-tune sprinkled on there. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, the song itself is just about just friends and family, just people coming out of nowhere, that all of a sudden they need help, they need money, they always need from you. But when I need, or whenever I needed, there was nobody around to help me out or anything. And I know even now, you know, I will give my last dime to help my people out. But if I fell right now, I feel like I couldn't turn around and ask anybody for anything back, you know. So it kind of covered those two bases, where it's something that you could really bop to or play in the club, but then at the same time there's a message behind it. The song President. So the song President, to me, it just represented that want for power and respect, you know. So it's really different. I was just telling a friend of mine before, a couple of days ago, that see, when people fear you, people that fear you will be the first ones to take your life, right? But people that respect you will never cross you. So with that being said, when I did President, I was just talking about being able to have that much respect, where I had the just ability to do what I want to do, live the way I wanted to live. But the song was just, I just wanted to be that figurehead, that person that's just the man, you know. All right, so that Diamond and Rough is the type of song for the wifey, right? So I don't really get to, not that I don't get to, I really don't express, you know, too much how I feel about, you know, special people in my life and stuff like that. So I just figured that I would do it the best way I knew how, and that was through music, and that was what I felt most comfortable doing. So that song was definitely, you know, for that special someone, you know, and I just wanted to do something to be able to just express how I feel. And thanks to Idris, because he really brought out that song with the hook. Okay, so See to Believe is a track that I got to do. I had the opportunity to work with Rick Ross and get some verses from him and stuff like that. So it was just a fun song, you know. I just had the opportunity, like I said before, and the resources to be able to work with him. I just made sure I got a good beat, something that, you know, I knew that we would do well on, and I just made it work. It was a fun song, but that also has a message behind it. There's a lot being said in that song, so I really have high hopes for that one. I think it might get a lot of spins, but we'll see. Make It Pop. So Make It Pop was me basically saying the same thing as New Fly in the sense that anything I do or anything I touch, I'm gonna make it pop. You know, like at the end of the day, when I get on my block or when I go back home, you know, like I'm gonna make it pop because I'm gonna bring the party over there. You know, whether I'm wearing Payless sneakers, I'm wearing Louis Vuitton sneakers, I'm gonna make it pop. I'm gonna make whatever I got on look good to the best of my ability, and kind of like I'm gonna just do what's comfortable to me. Like forget everybody else and put them all to the side. Yeah, the inspiration for I'm Out was pretty similar to Toast. I'm Out was more directed to the people that said that for leaving the hood or whatever you want to call it, that I was selling out or doing something wrong for not being there anymore. And it's just the truth, you know, like some people would tell you, you know, if you get money, you should stay in the hood, but those are the same people that's gonna be plotting against you, right? So there's a bunch of artists that were doing well in music and they were getting their name spread and they were generating a buzz, and as soon as that buzz came, they ended up getting murdered and robbed and all that stuff like that. So people are gonna say that, like, you need to stay here even though you're successful, you need to stay, but it's a trap, you know. And I think the only people that feel that way, that you sell out or you sold out because you left a certain environment, are the people that don't have the ability to leave also, you know, so they're just sour. My thing is, you can't carry everybody, right? So you can lead a horse to water, right, but you can't make it drink, right? So that's kind of the same way I feel about the people on my block or in my hood, right? Like I could give you all the knowledge that I have, and I can tell you, like, this is the way you need to go, this is what you need to do, but I can't make you do it, you know. I can't. I mean, financially, we've seen so many artists going broke trying to do exactly that, right? So you have the Hammers, you got the, you know, and he's not an artist, but you have the Tysons and the people that always had somebody around them that was leeching and actually hurting them, you know, when they just had a good heart and they just wanted to give back, or they wanted the right people around them, or they were just misled or something like that. So I don't ever want to be in that predicament, but I do feel like it's my responsibility as an artist to kind of open up the audience's eyes to things that's going on around them, and I hope that they make the best decisions. Another number is exactly what I was speaking about earlier. It's just, I refuse to be a statistic, you know. So that was another song that I collabed with Idris with, and it's exactly that. I just refuse to be what I guess certain people feel like I should be, because I was born to parents that were addicts, because I lived in shelters, because I was born in the hood and all that stuff. Like, I have to be a number and end up in jail so somebody could make money off the stock. Like, I refuse to be a part of that cycle. So another number just represents that, me speaking my mind. Yeah. Yeah, so the song Yes Girl was I don't even know what it was inspired by, to be honest. It was just one of those things that I was in the studio and I just heard the beat, and that's the first thing that just came to my head. You know, I actually have a sister that's a bartender at a strip club, right? And that's probably one of the reasons I don't frequent. I don't know, but she's actually a bartender there, and that when I heard that beat, it made me think of her and her being at work and you know, the dancers that are there, and you know, I got a chance to kind of like meet them on a personal level. So I don't really like go to a strip club and look at a girl like, oh, that's a piece of meat or something like that. Like I had the chance to actually get to meet some of them and get to know them, and you know, so that's why in the song I'm saying like she's not a stripper, but a dancer, body free of clothes, you know, because some people actually, it's funny because some of the girls actually enjoy their job and they would consider themselves dancers. Now, whether you agree or I agree, that doesn't matter. It's what they see it as, you know. Some people just love their bodies and they feel like they have no shame in it. They'll expose it. They'll, you know, and other people look at it, other females look at it as a quick way to make money. It's all about the eye of the beholder, right? So it's just how you see it. But that was definitely a fun song. That was actually produced by my boy Dendy, and I had a great time with it. There's been a lot of artists that's coming out and just talking really reckless, I feel. You know, as far as New York goes, I would be lying if I say we had an abundance of artists out right now that were, you know, killing the radio and doing super well on sales and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's kind of like that's where hip hop started, and I feel that the artists that are coming out now are kind of like just disrespectful, you know. So I mean, like recent events with a rapper by the name of Trinidad James, whatever, him coming to New York and saying that he feels like the South runs us, and you have other artists that saying, you know, they're the king of New York and stuff like that. Like, me personally, I don't go and disrespect anybody else's area, their hood, or nothing like that because I just think it's childish. So I'm demanding the same respect for New York, you know. So at the end of the day, when I say the streets is watching, is because just because you don't see a New York on TV acting rowdy and like, oh, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna catch you, whatever, it doesn't mean that we're not watching. Like we're watching every move and we hear everything all these artists are saying. So that was just like I don't want to say like warning shots, but just saying, hey, like we hear you and we're watching everything you're saying, you know, but you're still behind the camera. You know what I mean? Like you're still behind the camera, you're still behind bodyguards, you still, you know, so you get to speak all that smack or whatever, but you're not living the day to day. You're not walking through my projects. You're not, so you can't be a king of a place you can't even walk through. Well, I think everybody should definitely go out and make sure they download Scared of Heightz because it's definitely gonna expand your horizons. It's gonna give you every type of song that you want. I mean, I have up-tempo songs and I got the slow down type of songs. It's definitely gonna be something that's different and is up to date, and the audience is gonna love it. So I look forward to interacting with everybody that has a chance to go out there and download it. It's going to be out there, so it'd be impossible to not be able to find it, definitely. So if you just go and just Google it, Scared of Heightz, it'll pop up on so many sites. So like I'm definitely trying to flood the streets with it. So to tell you how many venues and different places you could get it would be impossible in a sense because I'm going to try to put it everywhere that you can imagine. I might even leave some copies on a urinal. You get over there.
Let's introduce him to some of this new G shit. Benny Heightz, my nigga, featuring Ricky Rose.